Another potential tool that you can use to monitor for rat activity are some of the game cameras we have, or remote triggered cameras that are available. The prices come down on a lot of those, and so it's cheaper and more practical for folks to go out and buy a bunch of these. One of the great things about cameras is that it can allow you to more easily detect specific species sometimes by getting a photo or a video of them. And that's the other thing I wanted to mention about them too, is a great thing is that you can set them to video now. So if you want to see how animals are reacting out there in a particular scenario, you can put some of these game cameras or trail cameras out there, turn them to video, and they can take a 10 or a 30-second video of that animal. So we're going to be talking about trapping, for example, moving forward. If you're having problems catching rats, or if you're wondering how rats are reacting to the trap that's out there, you can set those cameras on that trap and turn it to video, and then when the animal walks across, it will trigger it, and you can get a nice video of how that animal is responding. But from a monitoring perspective, how we would utilize them would be to put them out there in a grid pattern, again, similar to what we use with the tracking tunnels. I would recommend, again, 230-foot spacing between those cameras, set up in a grid pattern. You'll run them for a specified number of nights, again, somewhere between 2 to 4 nights, again, keeping it consistent across all of your monitoring periods. So if you go with 3 nights, always use 3 nights thereafter. And then when the rat comes in front of that camera, it's going to take a photo of it, or you could turn it to video if you prefer. And then you would simply record the number of those that you get in a particular night. Now, one of the things that you can do so that you're not getting 10,000 photos of one rat at the same site over the course of a 4 to 5 minute period is you could set the intervals on these cameras to where if it takes a photo, then it won't take a photo again for at least 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, whatever you set that interval to. If you're going to use these as a monitoring tool long term, I would suggest about a 5-minute interval. That would then allow you to determine how many visits you get to these cameras per night, and you can compare that over time. Now, there are several different kinds of attractants you can use. One attractant that we commonly use are these soft baits, a commercial soft bait that you can use tied up. In this case, I'm using a zip tie or cable tie. And then you target the camera onto that particular attractant. You can also use those non-toxic wax blocks again. I like using one of those two because they last for a longer period of time. You could put a smattering of peanut butter up there as well. But as it dries out, sometimes it tends to fall off and you lose that attractant. So I kind of prefer some of these harder, more commercialized baits for that. Just make sure that when you put the camera up, it does need to be very accurately pointed to whatever that attractant is that's out there. So get familiar with your cameras, run them in the backyard for a night or two and see how they're working before you start to implement them. So one of the great attributes about these cameras is that they do allow you to actually see the animal that's visiting out there. Some of the other tools, it can sometimes be a little bit more challenging to know if you're dealing with a rat versus a mouse or some of those kinds of animals. So you do get that kind of information. However, cameras probably aren't the easiest tool to use. There are some of the other tools like the tracking tunnels, for example, which are quicker and easier to implement, in part because with the cameras, when you're done, you then have to go back and look at all of the photos that you took to see whether or not you have rats versus mice versus nothing. Sometimes something else will just trigger it as well. So there are some limitations associated with these cameras. The cameras may not always be the preferred tool, but if there are situations in which you actually want to get some behavior data on the rats out there, then these cameras are really good for that purpose.